Hey, what's up? This is Justin for Gunslinger861's or Gunslinger861's channel. Keeping on going with what I'm going with. Hold on, let me grab it. I'm doing next DVD in the guinea pig set from Honor Films. Flower, Flesh and Blood, not Flower, Flesh, but He Never Dies and Mermaid in the Manhole. Now, good reason that I'm actually showing the DVD for this one and not the other two is the fact that, unfortunately, last year I ran some financial troubles and had to sell a good majority of my horror films. And, well, it was down to either, sell some stuff and get some money for Christmas presents for my daughter or, keep my horror collection. So, my daughter won this one. And a lovely friend of mine stole a bunch of my stuff, too. So, all around, it was a banner year for me. Anyways, what do I gotta say about this one? Start with Mermaid in the Manhole. This is actually one of my favorite in the series, probably next to second only made Flower, Flesh and Blood. Maybe on par with that. I think I might have liked this one a little better. Basically, we have this really depressed painter who they only say is he lost his wife. I don't know if she left him or she died or whatnot, but he's got a real odd hobby of going into the sewers, finding discarded things in the sewers, and painting them. Whether it's just junk or a baby, he does find that. Anyways, in our Oddfellows travels, he finds a mermaid, played by a beautiful actress by the name of Eve, and I believe she was in a couple other guinea pig films, so I'm not 100%. But anyways, finds her and realizes that he saw her when he was a kid, when it was a river before it was a sewer. But he sees her, starts talking to her, and he realizes that she has this horrific looking scar on her side and looks like it's sort of been eaten away, infected. He takes her home and she starts decomposing, and he starts painting her as she decomposes, and he uses her vomit and her, the stuff she's hacking up and stuff from the pus and wounds that she's covered in, and uses the painting. She says, "Paint my agony," as she slowly decomposes. And it's pretty gnarly. It's pretty wild transformation. It's pretty cool. I have to say I like this one. I really thought this was cool. It played a little more like a tragedy. It had some real substance to it. Maybe that's because Hayao Hideshi wrote this one and directed this one too. And I honestly, having looked at Flower, Flesh and Blood and Mermaid in the Manhole, I kind of wish he had done a few more of these films, because I think some of the lesser titles could have been better had he been involved in them. But that's only my opinion, so whatever. Boy. But in the end, he basically hacks her up, and there was one scene that did make me flinch. He pulled this out of her. She's covered in boils. He pulled like this like long, like centipede. I don't know what it was, but it looked painful and made me wince a little, very little, but a little. And it was cool though. I really like this one. Next one is, on the DVD is He Never Dies, and honestly, this was the first guinea pig film I ever saw, and it kind of threw me for a loop, because what I really expected from this one, from what I had read about it, was basically just this guy just mutilating himself. I expected it to be very heavy-handed and serious, like Devil's Experiment, Flower, Flesh and Blood. Instead, it had a real comedic tone. It was like violent, gory slapstick. It was really goofy at points. Basically, this guy is a complete loser. He just sucks at life, period. No girlfriend. Just works at a shitty job. So he decides, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself. Easier said than done. He slits his wrists in, typical guinea pig fashion, and stops bleeding out and realizes that he can't die. Now he does feel pain, so he makes a day of it mutilating himself. Also draws some, before he, succumbs to trying to kill himself, he draws some face on his feet and starts talking with his feet, which I thought was, whatever. But anyways, one part that got me was, he's sitting there messing around. He kind of found something new, so he takes a cleaver and just shink. Lops his arm off at the forearm. He looks at it, just tosses it over his shoulder like no big deal. I kind of gave me a little bit of a chuckle, a sick chuckle, but a chuckle at that. That this is not what I expected. And although later one of his coworkers comes over and he's gashed up and bleeding, and he's actually taking out his own intestines and just totally worked himself over. He points at his neck and his carotid artery, and I'm not even sure if I'm on the right side, but he has the vein kind of partially popping out, and I tell you, I saw that and I just winced up in pain. I was like, oh my god, that looks so painful. I know it was a special effect, and it was a good one at that, but it looked fucking like that could really be something painful. Stuff about arteries and veins, so yeah, it really get under my skin as far as making me just kind of shrivel up in an ass ball. It's like, ugh. But then at the end, he's just a head sitting on a table and laughing, and the guy's girl walks in and it's like, oh my god, you made a horrible mess out of your room. Look at this. There's stuff everywhere. And it's like I had to laugh, because it's like, dude, he's a fucking head sitting on a table. That's all he is. He's a head. He's a head. He shouldn't be talking. But you're more concerned about the status of his room. So I thought, all in all, I found it a little bit silly, but I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. But then again, I like most of the guinea pig films, aside from, well, I can't say I didn't like Devil's Experiment, because although it was boring, it still was a guinea pig film. So I like this one. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend the entire series. If you can get them anymore, though, that's the thing. They're a pain in the ass to get anymore, because unfortunately, Unearth lost the rights to them. And I was asking around about them, and on the Facebook page said that some of the people who did these movies in the 80s, actors, actresses, are kind of big names now in Japan, and they're paying good money not to have the rights to these movies sold again. It's kind of like when an actor does a porno, or at least a really bad B movie, and doesn't want anyone to know it was them. They ask whole Sylvester Stallone thing, or Jennifer Aniston or Renee Zellweger, and they all did B movies. They all did Leprechaun and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, and not one to talk about. And I think it's the same deal with these people who did some of the guinea pig films. And that is a drag, because these are, I've seen a lot of crap come out of Japan. Some of it really good, some of it not, and I actually really thought these were entertaining. These had good entertainment value. Didn't have the shock I thought they would, but I enjoyed them. I actually have watched them, most of the ones I still have, and had in the past, several times over again, because I thought they were good. The DVD itself is pretty good. It's a step up from what they did with Devil's Experiment and Android. You actually get some trailers, get some history behind it, which actually provides some really good insight. Some stuff I thought I had, known well about these films, but I had kind of wrong. Like the whole Charlie Sheen thing, and I'm sure everyone who knows about these films knows that basically he got a copy of a movie of Guinea Pig and thought it was real, but people forget he was probably loaded out of his mind. And you get some grainy, 8th generation bootleg of a movie of someone getting dismembered. Hell, even if you're straight and sober, you might think, oh, I got something real. But I'm not here to bitch about Mr. Sheen here. I'm talking about Guinea Pig and Unearthed and whatnot. Anyways, great horror films. Great, rare, obscure horror films. They're really fun to watch. If you can get your hands on them, grab them and hold on to them for dear life, because they ain't coming back. So, that's it. And whoever took my copy of Devil Dr. Woman, I really hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're having a lot of fun with that. Thanks. Well, that's it for now for me. I'm going to come back and do the Devil Dr. Woman, then, I don't know what else. I don't know. Whatever comes to mind. Alright, that's it. Later.